Welcome to Grownish Woman. I'm your host, Holly Teagarden. This is the podcast for women who are in the messy middle of midlife. Your kids are growing up, your hormones are doing whatever they want, and that quiet little voice is asking, okay, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? And it's getting louder by the day. We talk about the stuff everybody is going through, but nobody wants to talk about. We laugh at the chaos, we sit in the hard parts, and we do it all without judgment. Because midlife does not come with a manual, but it does come with this podcast. Let's go. Welcome to today's episode. I'm diving into something that hit me a lot harder than I expected, sending my daughter off to college. And honestly, after I went through it, I reached out to my friend Heidi, and she was like, yeah, it's brutal. And I was like, wait, you knew? And that conversation is basically how this podcast was born. Heidi Iliff photographs high school seniors. She's seen hundreds of families navigate this exact transition. She has 6 kids. 2 kids are in the Air Force. She has a daughter at Baylor University and another one that's about to follow. She is living it in real time, just like so many of us. We're getting into all of it today. The emotions nobody warns you about, the moments that catch you off guard, and how to find your footing on the other side. Thank you for joining me today on this episode about kids leaving the coop. So, you're like an OG at this. 3 kids.
Little lifer.
You're a lifer. You've had 3 kids who have left the coop.
Yep.
So tell me, what is the first night like with each of them? Does it get easier?
Well, to answer the easy part, it does not get easier. Sorry to say it. Everyone is different. I want to say, I had the experience of Haley leaving during COVID. And she went to the military. She went to the Air Force, and she didn't leave until November, right after Thanksgiving. So that was particularly probably the hardest of all 3, just because we knew she wouldn't be back for Christmas. So
that was the first too.
And she was the first.
Yeah.
So that was strikingly painful, I'll be honest. Ethan, it wasn't as hard. Ethan is pretty independent, second born. But I know about boys because I have enough mom friends that have boys that you really don't get to talk to them after they leave very much. So you just don't. They're just not as good at it as girls. It's really hard. He went to Temple in Philly. So I dropped him off, drove back. Wasn't that sad. It was time for it. It felt like spread your wings and fly, baby. Okay. My daughter in Texas, that was really hard. My third, I am close with her still, and it's far. It felt so tremendously far. Her move-in was crazy. It's a fun story. And we had so much fun. We laughed so much, but then driving back from Waco to Dallas, I'm pretty sure I cried the entire way home. So,
oh my gosh,
it didn't get any easier per one.
How do you handle that distance? I mean, what is it, like 1,300 miles?
Yeah. So Dallas is not as hard as Philly was because it's strange, but Philadelphia is a drive, and no matter how you slice it, I don't care how fast you drive. It's 6 hours. It's a 6-hour car drive. If you want to do a flight, it's stupid because it's like now they might have it better, but they just didn't have the infrastructure. So getting to Waco, however, is very pleasant. I fly straight out of Pittsburgh into DFW or Love, depending on the price. Rent a car and drive down about an hour and 30 minutes. Get myself In-N-Out burger every time. So that distance for me has not felt as hard, believe it or not, which is strange.
What is your mom radar? Are you on Find a Friend?
Okay, so
let's be honest.
Yes, I have all my kids' locations. Okay. We've never done Life 3, so we just haven't. But we all have iPhones.
Right.
I've told them they have to have it on. For me, it's just peace of mind.
Yeah.
Do I check it? In the first year, absolutely. My mom radar was, why is he at this girl's house every day? Off campus. I'm over here Ethan might have a girlfriend. Then about 3 weeks later, he was like, so I met this girl.
And you're like, really? No idea.
Where does she live? Meanwhile, I know where she lives. Oh, it's a little creepy. Right. Same with my daughter. I won't lie. Why is she always at ... And then I found out that she really was interested in a guy, and that's where he lives. So
that's so interesting. For me, I could not use Find a Friend. It would be too much, like aggressive, right? Because and Sarah was in New York City, so for me, seeing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's
It's a hard place no matter what.
Exactly. So I just had to let it go because I would be totally obsessed about it. And I know that.
I will say I was for a while.
Okay. So like if there's a mom listening to this, right? I think it's it's good to say
okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
I would say with a caveat, like don't be like, hey, why were you? Don't ever tell your kids.
Right.
So, I mean, if my kids see this, oh, sorry guys. Yes, I did invade your privacy for over a year of each of your lives. It is what it is.
Right.
Like I want to know if they're like a ditch or an alley, right?
100%.
Right.
100%.
Like normal. Especially my son was in Philly. I'm like,
right. Things happen.
Things happen in Philly.
100%.
Everywhere.
Speaking of your son, he went to college and he went on a path. And then he was like, you know what? I don't want to do the college thing.
Yeah.
I want to go to military. How was that pivot for you?
Oof. So intellectually, I saw it coming. Ethan just didn't like school. I felt like he almost went down the college path to give it the old college try. I could tell that like he would say things like, "Oh, these classes, I'm wasting so much money," all this stuff. So intellectually, I was there. I knew it already, but the pivot was abrupt and he didn't really share with us. I'm noticing again with checking your kid's location, I'm noticing that he's almost never going to class. I think he had only 2 in-person classes second semester. And I still don't even know that because really I let go of that completely once my kids leave. I'm not looking at their grades. I'm not looking at their
same.
I can't. No. I don't even do it in high school. So why in the hell would I do it in college, right? But when he finally told me, it was abrupt because I felt he'd kind of been like hiding it from me a little bit, I felt, kind of like pushed out of his life a little bit because I'm sure he was thinking about that decision the entirety of second semester, So I don't know.
And did it work out all right?
He absolutely loves his job. So he is in Tucson, Arizona. He is an avionics engineer in the Air Force. He's also taking classes. So there's something for free, the military, and they're actually a good 30 to 50% of his college debt off. And they're paying for everything that he's doing now. So as far as paths go, it's such a smart path, but it was I don't know. Because also he's a dude. I have a daughter in the Air Force too. He's a lot more deployable than my daughter.
I understand.
And so to me, that was where my nerves went.
Yeah.
With like, ooh, my son actually might have to carry a gun and sit in a thing.
Right. But you just have faith that it's going to.
I do. Yeah. I do. I have to roll back. This is out of my hands.
Right.
Give it over. Yeah.
And now you are embarking it again, right? You have a senior and I feel once January starts, it's all the last whatever they do. Yes. How are you feeling in that? I mean, do you stay present? Are you like cutting or fast forwarding to the goodbye?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm a present thinker. So I almost reject the idea of her not being in my home.
Okay.
Like I'm very much like, no. Last orchestra concert, we're not thinking about prom yet. But it's still hard. Emotionally, I know it's happening. It's been loaded all year long. And that pain, once you sent one, you're like, that pain is legit. The next one, So it's almost like you're clenching all year. You're like, this is going to happen. And Natalie is my birthed baby. So I have adopted 4 children, but Natalie is the end of my birth order. So I had her last. I, babied her the longest. She is definitely the baby of the family, right? Even her mentality, even with 4 younger siblings, still the baby of the family. But yet she's so changed in it that she has a lot of independence. And so that helps a little bit, but also it's like my last bit of womb is ripping out. I mean, that's so dramatic, but I won't lie. It feels a little bit like that.
I bet. But is there, I don't know, calmness because that senior is going to be going to college with her sister? Is there a relief or a worry?
You know what? I will admit that has been super helpful. Just because also she's like the one who doesn't cook. How's this girl going to freaking eat? Like, you're getting the highest meal plan. And you will, and I will have your sister looking at you to make sure that you're not losing tons of weight. Because girl she's the baby. She doesn't know how to feed herself. It sounds terrible, but it's kind of her.
No, I know with my own daughter, That's a huge thing. And what I tell people who are going through this is make sure your kid knows how to make meals before they go to college.
And do their laundry and all the
Shop
things.
groceries.
Yes,
for
what to
groceries.
buy. And especially that baby, they just don't know.
Yes.
They're oblivious. So,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
that's been, I would say, anxiety producing, and just the pain of losing I hate saying losing your last one, but I'm going to do it again in 4 years. I'm going to lose my real last ones in 4 years, but this really feels like I am. It's super hard.
So what is the frequency of the home when each of them leaves? Does it change? Like their bedroom, their seat at the table? You said you have 8 kids. How does that work?
The frequency definitely changes. A family, especially a blended one with so many bits and parts like that, everyone is bringing their own spice. Haley was get up and go, always for fun, taking the kids places. That big sister vibes, that left, and it was like, it's gone. It hurt, right? And then Ethan, he's the oldest brother. He's the protector. Like his bits and parts leave. I mean, his brothers have said, like, I don't really even know my brother. I mean, that's dramatic, but that's the kind of things that your other kids go through too when their older siblings leave. Me, I saw that piece missing. I want you to talk to your brothers. I want you to be part of their upbringing, but he's gone now. Sophia is the bringer of fun and joy. She pulls everyone together, takes everyone in. We're going on an adventure. Always go big or go home. That piece being ripped away, that was so hard because I'm not that. I'm more like I want to stay at home and just sit down, read a book, and like my energizer, fun seeker, taker leaves. It was rough.
Did somebody take up the...
No one really took up the mantle.
Wow.
It's been really weird. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. She comes home enough. She's connected still where it is still her. But I think a lot of the kids' personalities left haven't needed that. When Natalie leaves, Natalie is the baby of the family. I think that it's going to affect me hardest and the most, just in an emotional way, because you guys, dirty honest right here. Like my left 4 children have been adopted.
Right.
So the bonds and the relationships, after, I don't even know, 12 years, they're really strong and solid. I love my children who have been adopted, right? But the dynamic of we're just the adopted family now is there. And that the mantle of that has loomed on me. It started looming on me at about this time last year when I was like, the writing is on the wall. Natalie is going to be gone. We're left with only adopted people in our household. That brings different challenges. It's different. It's going to be totally interestingly different.
Oh.
So there's that bit of like strange mantle and pain that may not apply to everyone watching this, but that's the biggest, I would say that's the biggest piece. It's just going to be so, I don't know. I have one friend who understands it too. She also has 4 adopted children, and all 4 of hers have now, her birth children have left the nest, and she's only with the adopted children now. And she's like, it's just it's a different new experience, right? So anyways.
I was thinking, what is the hardest part about letting them go and letting go of the control? I mean, and watching them potentially struggle.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the hardest part is the thought of watching them struggle.
Yes.
Because I've watched everyone, no punches pulled, like freshman fall for college kids is rough, freaking rough. It's probably the most fucking huge transition that your kid will ever make in their entire life. They are no longer under your mantle, your protection, your family. They don't have times to eat, sleep, pray, literally anything. And now they are out on their own trying to adult. And it is a soft launch when they're going to college. It's a soft launch, but you have to let them launch it.
Right.
And so the anxiety of, I already said it, like, will Natalie eat? I don't care if she eats 3 meals a day. Will she get her calories so she will not shrink away to nothing and be weak and pathetic in her bed? And she struggles with mental health issues. So I'm there with her too. And I'm like, will she remember to take her medicine?
Yes.
Will she remember to get out of bed? If she's going to go into a dark, deep, this is the kind of transition that is going to take her there.
100% agree. So, I think that, looking back, another thing that I would tell parents is make sure your kid is set up with mental health.
Yeah.
Therapists, meds, all of the things. Yes. Do not miss a beat with that.
Yes.
It's such a hard transition.
Exactly. And this is the first time I have to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. My one daughter, she was, mental health counseling at Baylor. She even went a few times because it was hard. She does not. Sophia does not have a mental health struggle, praise the Lord, but she does know how hard that freshman fall is. I mean, just the weight of the transition, the missing of your people, the trying to make new friends, all of this, particularly rough. And so she went to that counseling. They had said, hey, you have, I think it was 8 free visits per semester at Baylor. And she went to every single one of them. And so I will be encouraging Natalie, and I have to set up just her medication schedule and picking those things up and getting that all situated the same. But that's new for me. I haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you kind of mentioned as you're talking, I'm thinking, knowing you personally, you are kind of the manager of the household.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
So when you are not the manager of your child anymore, how does that change your relationship? How do you work into another relationship from just being the manager?
Yeah. So that's a strange conundrum because even though I totally am the manager and I take that fully up, I don't necessarily love that role. Okay. So I start giving that role up about freshman year. I'm expecting you to be taking your medications every day. I'm expecting you to not be reminded about showers, to make sure you're getting your own rides to places, to make sure you're letting me know when you need a ride to places. So my kids really get pushed probably around the age of 14, right around freshman year, 14, 15, really just be their own manager, set up their calendar, all the things. So
smart.
And I would say with that mentality moving forward, I don't have it as bad probably. Now with Natalie, she just still hasn't caught that shit. So it's a little hard. So that's another nervous point. Is she going to go to class on time?
Yeah.
Will she wake up? It is what it is.
Will she take her meds when she's supposed to?
Will she? Exactly. Yes. Exactly. How does it shift? Like, I really love teenagers. I don't know. They're some of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Senior photographer over here.
You love it. I guess.
I love it. I love to be in a friendship role at that point. And so that get on your own management has kind of helped me to almost have a more friendship situated relationship with my kids in high school. So when they leave, my biggest hurts is they're not there to be my friend anymore. It's so selfish, but it's like, and they're not going to tell me about any of their friends in college, and I'm not going to get to know all those people they meet. I mean, even that bee who's nasty or fill in the blanket thing. The biggest that gets ripped away is almost like the social piece for me, which kind of sucks, but
I would have never thought that.
That's weird. Yeah. I mean, you know me. I am a controlled person. I live in a very type A
you have
situation.
8 kids, you have to.
And it's more out of that. It's more of the 100%. I have to, right? You know?
So for parents, especially moms who have their first baby leaving this fall, what is the one truth she needs to hear to survive the first month?
I would say that I'm just going to go there. Your kid is actually in God's hands.
Yeah.
You're not in control.
Not in control.
And the more you can put that control down, and for me, it looks like prayer. And I give that control to God. Jesus, take the literal and figurative wheel here. And I would say that would be my number one advice. Like, if you're not a praying person, start to pray. Because honestly, even it changes inside of you, and then you're like, I feel a little bit more at peace of this because I know God's in control of it. So
that's such a great, thank you.
Advice. You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. We're down to the rapid fire selection.
Oh,
bum, bum, bum.
I'm ready.
Okay. The one thing you sent your child to college with that was actually for your own peace of mind.
So
I'm trying to think of mine, but
I know, right? So when I sent away the military kids, it was different. But mine honestly was that you have your location.
Yeah.
I pay your cell phone bill. So I knew that they were always going to be able to be reached, contacted. And I would fuss every time they would turn off that location, because I'm telling you right now, There were plenty of places my son, my daughter, everyone didn't want me to be watching them. Sometimes it was a surprise coming home. That was with Haley. Like, she turned off her location for 2 days, and I was, why are you not sharing your location with me? And 2 days later, she shows up. She shows up, which was so sweet, and I wept. But that is the thing. I would say, for the peace and the sanity, if it helps you, that location needs to be there.
See, and now for me, with my daughter going to New York City, I have
pepper spray, bro.
And it looks like a pen, but it can hurt somebody.
Is it like?
No, it's like almost like a knife.
Oh, it's a shank. You sent your daughter with mace and a shank.
I mean, I probably for my own peace of mind, but yes.
I probably should have sent Ethan with mace and a shank to Philly.
Yes.
Just throw that out there,
Yeah, that's what I would recommend, depending on where your child is going, is some sort of protection, especially as a female. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The best distraction for a mom on the drive back or the flight back from drop off. Oh my gosh.
Best distraction. If you want a distraction, you need to be listening to a really good audiobook. Deep, guys. Deep story. You need to be right in the middle of it.
Yes.
For me, it's like I tear through books. I'm reading an awesome series right now. I'm not saying what it is because I don't need the comment section. If you're deep in a story, it's easy to if you're not wanting to do and feel all the things, like my weeping all the way back, I was listening to calm, soothing worship music. That was probably not the best plan.
The worst. I was like the whole way from New York to Pittsburgh.
So if you're on the flight, you read that book.
Read the book.
Get that audio book too. Yes. So you're it's in the middle of a cliffhanger. It's all right. Pop them in. You're driving and you can still hear the story.
100%.
You can crash out because you will crash out at your house in the privacy of your own home.
Or I have an idea that just came up. Or you and your husband go on a trip right after.
Girl, I like that one.
Yeah. And that way you're okay, I just dropped you off, but now I'm my own thing.
Yes, that's blessed. I would love that. My work my big busy.
That's true. You can't
August,
do that.
September. So I am literally just businessing during that.
But if you're that mom, I think you should plan a trip.
You should. I think so. Yeah. Even if it's like a long weekend.
Exactly.
It's because you do.
No,
you need an emotional crash out.
100%.
You do.
Okay, what about the text message from them that makes you feel the most seen?
So I'm just going to say it. Anytime my kids text me once they're gone with anything. Literally. I thought like my oldest and my third, like Sophia, would be great at communication and reaching out. But I'm telling you guys, when they're out there relationship building, it's not a thing. They're not thinking about back here. They can't. They have to compartmentalize and be very present, or they're not going to make friends. They're not going to situate with their roommate, all the things, right? Find their people. This is all stuff you want them to do. So anytime if they're like, hey, can you text me that recipe? You're like, oh, she still cares.
Yes, so true.
She's 20. So, 20, almost 23 and almost 25. And any of them that are gone, still like as they text me with something sweet, like now Haley and I's relationship has switched more of a relationship.
Okay.
Like she'll like, hey, talking to me about something, but she's the only one so far and she's 25. So just giving you a little good bit of how long it takes, guys.
Thank you.
About 6 years. 6 years.
What's the one thing you're actually looking forward to about having one less kid to schedule and to manage?
Well, for me, the scheduling and the management isn't that big of a deal. I'm looking forward to, no, I'm not. I can't. I don't have anything I'm looking forward to. Holly, it's kind of not, it's not dark, but it is going to be the hardest, I feel like, of all of the transitions. I'm just not looking forward to it. If I compartmentalize it, I'm fine. And I don't think about what the household is going to be. I just am, this is so great. I'm fine. But as soon as I start really thinking what's going to be joyous about this, no, I don't have anything.
What would you tell a mom? I feel like no one talks about this. I even told you this when my daughter Sarah left. No one prepares you on social media. There's a lot of funny memes and
Right.
TikToks. No one prepares you for this pain. Let's prepare the people. What's going to happen to them in September?
So if you're on meds, don't go off them. Don't have any smart, big ideas.
Amen. Yes.
I would say get yourself mentally healthy. What does that look like? I mean, make sure you're sleeping. A lot of us are going through peri or we're in menopause.
Yes.
Whatever it takes, get yourself sleeping, get yourself recovering, get some inflammation out of your body, like the health stuff. Because I mean, for me, my mental health and my physical health are super closely related. I feel like that's everybody. But I would say prepare in that way because it's going to be a blast. Let's be dramatic about it. It's a blast of emotions and they hit you all the time at very random times. And if you, especially like with me in my work, I can be shooting a kid and I can be, oh my gosh, I miss, and I'll start crying. I cry. It's one of the things that brings out the tears in me come about a month in because I just know how big the struggle is. So I would say know that it's going to be like that. Prepare for that. Don't go into it with like a blissful ignorance,
100%.
right? Get ready. Stay on your meds. Up your freaking meds.
Up your meds.
Up your self-care. Up your self-care.
Yes.
Make sure that, whatever it is that you love, that make sure that you're adding that. Another piece is a social piece, Holly. And I've been talking with my friends a lot about this lately, about how I really love being my kids' friends. Guess what, guys? Newsflash. Your kids are not your freaking friends.
Right.
You might be able to be friends with them when they're 25.
True.
But until then, you're just their mom. You're just the organizer. You're the feeder. You're all the things. You're the buyer.
That is so
you're
true.
The money. She's the money.
Yes.
But you're not their friend.
Right.
And no matter how hard you push that relationship, that is just going to hurt more.
Right.
So it's like, I would say, push into your friendships, especially the mamas that are like going through the same season, the ones who are peri and the ones who are having kids leave out the house because they feel it, they get it. Get yourself a couple of good mama friends. And every time your kid rejects you during senior year and during that fall, go out with your girlfriends, have a drink, do something that you love and be like, these are my friends. These are my girls. So
I love that. Thank you.
That's my advice.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Such a blast.
Yay. Okay, that is a wrap on today's episode of Grownish Woman. And honestly, I could have kept going. If something you heard today made you laugh, made you cry, or maybe made you text your best friend and say you have to listen to this, that's exactly why I created it. Do me a favor. If you're loving the show, please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and leave a review. It takes like 2 minutes and it really means the world to me. It also helps other women in the messy middle find us. And trust me, they need the community just as much as we do. Come find me on Instagram, Grownish Woman Podcast, and keep the conversation going because what we talk about here, it doesn't need to stop when the episode ends. I'll see you next Friday. Until then, be a little kinder to yourself. You're doing better than you think.